Broadcasting Studio 24 in California, the entertainment capital of the world, featuring Dr. Dwight Rogers and Tony G. It's the Education Talk Show with Jeremy Brooks, Weekly Recess. And now, your host, Jeremy Brooks.
Welcome to the Education Talk Show with Jeremy Brooks, Weekly Recess. We are live in Brooks Broadcasting Studio 24, and have we got a show for you tonight? We have our wonderful, amazing education contributors. Hey, this show is so funny. We're already laughing.
Podcast.
Hey, that's how funny we are. So we we have our amazing senior education contributors that know how to laugh. Dr. Dwight Kofi Rogers.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Again, next time, bring a friend. You know, we need 3 million. We're at 2 million. We need 3 million people. Come on, bring a friend. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show.
That's right. That's right. And we've got the always hilarious Tony G.
Thank you, Jeremy. We're here. It's time. I've been waiting all week for this. So we got a lot to talk about. I won't bore you with my quick wit and charm and jokes. We're going to get on with the segment.
Right.
All right. Well, hey, listen, here in Studio 24, the coffee is strong, or the energy drinks, depending on what you have in your cup. I know for us, yeah, we're not saying, but something's strong in these cups, keeping us awake and alert. But anyway, we are here, and we are
ginseng. That's it.
Without the sing.
Hey, it's a family show. Well, anyway, we've got some major headlines and topics from across the country that are impacting educators, families, students, school administrators. These are really important topics that are happening from throughout the week. And we also have our feature segment. We're going to talk about something that's maybe creative. Who knows? But it's definitely an important topic to talk about. Teacher housing. That's right. You heard me correctly. Teacher housing. That's going to be our feature segment. And let us know what you think about this. I mean, is this a good idea? Maybe, maybe not. Let us know in the comments. We definitely want to hear from you. And so we're going to talk about all those things. We got a lot to discuss tonight. But, we're going to go ahead and just find out from our senior education contributors. I mean, how was your week, gentlemen? What have you been up to?
My week's been pretty good. You know, I had an opportunity to coordinate some things and get my life, into a swing of happiness and relaxation.
What?
How do you do it?
Jeremy, why do we have the Sacramento Kings mascot here?
Hey, this is Ed. Ed is our mascot.
Ed. Oh,
Ed, our mascot. He's our lion. We got him right there. We have Ed right
He's
back there.
He's breaking the microphone already.
Hey,
Jeremy,
you know what?
Did you get insurance on him?
I don't think we got insurance.
Oh, gosh.
Ed,
Look
yes.
At this, Ed.
Oh.
Yes.
Ed.
Nod your head, yes or no, if we got insurance on you. Oh, we did. Okay. All right. We got insurance on Ed.
All right.
But hey,
Here
look,
we go.
we even got him on our logo.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's classy.
So Ed is everywhere.
Ed is everywhere.
Okay. He's right there. He's even in the control room in a big way too.
Absolutely.
Aren't you, Ed? Yeah. So here's the deal. Ed, he doesn't say much. Okay. He's a line, a few words, but we can ask him some questions, right, Ed? Sound good? Yeah. Well, we're glad he's here. I mean, this is totally unexpected. Did you guys plan this, by the way?
I had nothing to do with this.
I would have nothing to do with this. He's going to take the spotlight away. That's the problem.
Ed, are you here for the spotlight? No, he's not here for the spotlight.
Hey.
But he is here. So, I mean, we'll find out how Ed's week was going, too. You want to hang out with us tonight, Ed, for just a few minutes? Can we have you on just a little bit of time?
Okay.
Okay,
Ed,
just
are
a
you
little
able
bit.
to do anything but nod? Fair enough.
Well, hey, you know what? He was at our Christmas party. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that.
That is correct.
Yes.
That's right.
He was a hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stepped on his tail.
He was giving out gifts.
Yes.
He was dressed. We had It was a Santa lion. That's what it was. It was a compromise because we couldn't get Santa, right? He was too busy.
Right.
But
It's too
instead,
expensive, am I right?
and yeah, exactly. Ed, you like your microphone?
I think Ed is.
No. You don't listen to it. You speak into it.
You don't eat it.
Oh no! Oh, you don't eat the microphone either. Wow. Oh well, we'll let you say hi for a minute, but let's go to to Dr. Rogers. I mean, you were saying, hopefully, Ed, we'll yeah, go ahead. We want to hear from you.
He's mugging
Look
you,
at him.
Kofi.
I can't.
Don't try that with me, Ed. All right? I've had way scarier people at some
He
of
does
my,
push
some of my places.
Oh, well, Dr. Rogers, how are things going?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, I was planning on going to Southern California to go see a concert, and I got an email about 3 hours ago said the artist has COVID,
Oh no!
and they canceled the concert. Now, hotel can't be refunded, car can't be refunded. Well, I'm going to SoCal.
Hey.
I'm going to SoCal.
You should.
There you
So
go.
I'll bring you something back. You you like Portos?
Well, I was thinking, why don't you just bring us with you?
You know what? That
You-
might,
It's even
Yeah.
better. I mean, you know what?
Road
You
trip.
yeah, I'll film the whole thing.
But you guys, we can't leave Ed out.
Ed, backseat.
Oh, he'll go. He's definitely you in, Ed, for this. Yeah, okay. Honestly, though, if we run out of room, Ed could just run alongside the car.
Absolutely.
He's fast. He can run
Absolutely.
down there.
Yeah. Put him
Yeah.
on the hood. As an ornament.
Hey, what a way to kind of still keep it positive, because honestly, it's like a lot of people they get their concert canceled,
Right.
Not happy.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot more important things in life to worry about. So if that's the worst it's going to be, so be it.
I love that. I love that attitude. That's the right attitude for real. And
I want to know
yeah.
what Ed has to say about it. 6'7". There you go.
All right, Tony. What have you been up to? I guess
Well-
you're going this weekend to L.A. We're going.
I mean, it sounds like we're brewing a little trip.
Hey.
My wife won't mind. She's gonna be like, "Go, leave as long as you need. As long, take your time." No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I've been doing comedy, just plugging away, and then on top of that, just being active, hitting the gym.
Right.
2026. So I've been crushing it, staying on the goals. As Arnold say, the protein, the bicep, the try. I'm hitting it all. I'm hitting it all. It's fun. I had goals, right? I said, I'm going to do a pistol squat. That's the goal. And maybe a muscle up. I don't know. But I might train for that. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Hey, whatever keeps the doctor away, hopefully, right? Unless I fall down and break my neck.
Hey.
Then I'm with the doctor.
Before we let Ed get out of here, I wanted to invite Ed to check out your book, because Ed, I don't know if he's had a chance to check it out. Can we get a picture of Ed with your book real quick?
Absolutely. Ed, please. I'm honored.
Can you tell him a little bit about it real fast?
Absolutely. Ed, it's called Change the Narrative. Don't let the narrative change you. It's a toolkit. It's not just a book. So it allows educators to have an opportunity to connect with students, and for students, it allows them the opportunity to have some self-reflection and see themselves and take a trip. Take a trip down different memories and experiences they have and help them navigate through life. Have you ever had a student in your class that just couldn't figure life out? Well, inside this book, it gives them an opportunity to do that. And you, as a parent or a teacher or an educator, can help them find their way.
Awesome.
And
Ed, I think what Kofi's trying to say is, look at me, Ed. What he's trying to say is listen, even though you can't talk, Ed, and you can only nod.
And then we'll slide that
I'm
back a
sorry,
little
Ed,
bit.
you still have a future to hope.
Oh,
All right.
whole
See,
table.
look what just happened. Did you drop anything? No, you haven't yet.
this is what happens when you do stuff like
We're having a discombobulation on this side, but we're having a good time, Ed. I believe in this. I believe in the book. Change the narrative. We're changing it 2026.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. You know, and changing narrative is so important sometimes because sometimes you go through life and people have this perception of you, and you have to ask yourself, do you want that perception to stick, or do you want to live in your truth and allow people to see you as you are?
Ed already looks bigger. I'm sorry. He's look at his chest.
He's pumped up.
It's like a real strong, he's not a cowardly lion anymore.
Well, we probably should let Ed run, but Ed, it's been a lot of fun having you on here.
Thank you, Ed. Give me some.
Ed, good night.
All
Hey,
right.
Ed, can you do a pose for us for this camera right here? Show us how strong you are, Ed. Show us how tough and strong you are. Whoa! Oh my goodness, your head's cut off. Ed's head's cut off. You got to get down a little lower there to be on camera. Oh, there we go.
I don't know what kind of squat that was.
Okay. All right, Ed. See you later, buddy. Hey. Oh, he left me hanging. He left me hanging. Oh man. So that table right there, if we just slide that back, apparently it might be blocking camera.
Apparently
Sorry, guys.
It's not moving.
No, okay. They're saying it might be.
We're having it. You know what though? That's why I'm here, guys. You know, the other day.
That's what we do live, huh?
That's right. That's what we do live.
You know what? The other day, I thought you were going to say something, Kobe. To come
What
in.
happened the other day?
I don't know now. I don't know. I'm trying to look all nonchalant on camera live.
That's probably
trying
good.
to tell a joke.
Apparently, I don't know what's
out the thing. This is the worst kickoff we've had. Oh my god! What's next?
This is
You're
a
gonna
blooper.
drag on the
This is a
set
blooper
without
show.
telling me.
Hey, I
We're
didn't
falling apart live.
I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know that Ed was coming back
I
here.
told my friends to watch this show.
Woo,
Hey,
this is fun.
what if Ed just came back here on his own? Okay, all right. I didn't even know Ed was going to be in the studio.
Career. I'm kidding. This is all scripted, folks.
Okay.
All right, we got to move on. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so listen, tonight we are talking about some serious things across the country. We're going to start with some really important news headlines, a lot happening across the nation related to education. And so we're going to jump into the headlines, but we're live again from Studio 24, and the bell is ringing, and the weekly recess starts right now. All right, so let's jump into what we're calling our weekly recess, sort of quick news. And we're going to go ahead and go over quick news headline number one. There's a lot of winter chaos, as a lot of you know, especially on the East Coast and in some of the southern states as well. We've had, really, really nasty winter weather, freezing temperatures, blizzard conditions, a lot of snow. I have a friend in New York, actually from Brooklyn, and he actually did a measurement with the amount of snow at his house. Just super thick, the amount of snow that's out there. But, Mother Nature really is pretty busy this week. And places like Oklahoma are already choosing to close buildings for the day, especially today. One of the headlines was Thursday today, they're going to be closing some schools. Now, a lot of schools also, this is kind of one of the I guess you can call it maybe a benefit of the pandemic was the one-on-one devices. So
Right.
There's a lot of schools going to virtual learning during the winter weather here. And, if you can't safely get kids and staff there, you can adapt. And so that's what a lot of schools are doing. And so we're becoming a little, too good at emergency sort of learning nowadays, it seems. But in New Jersey, kind of a similar thing, right? You got that wet winter weather. And so over in New Jersey, schools are reopening after weather-related closures. And here's the catch. You have 180 days, right? Or X number of days. And in New Jersey, it's 180 days. And if you're closed for a day or a few days because of the snow, you got to make those days up.
Right.
So that's one of the things that they're talking about and that they're trying to work through is, extending that school year. And that means adjusting, adding days, shortening breaks, and moving professional development, those kinds of things. And so it's kind of a big reminder that, when schools close, there is a ripple effect, as a result of that. Another big topic, we're calling this headline news number 3. In Anchorage, Alaska, voters there are voting to approve or adopt an $11.8 million tax increase. And it's to help bring over 80 teaching positions to try to reduce class sizes. And it's one of those moments where, a community basically asked, do we want to invest in staffing, invest in students, and, or accept bigger classrooms and fewer supports for kids. And so that's education policy that's, happening right there at the ballot box in real time. And then this is the last one that we're going to go over real quick. And then we'll have a discussion about some of these items. Big news in higher ed. We like to talk about higher ed. We don't get to talk about it too much on the show, but Yale University was in the news this week. They're offering tuition changes if your household income is $200,000 or less. They're offering free education or free tuition. And for families earning $100,000 or less, it's not just tuition, it's essentially all major costs related to school. And so, that's a big statement, when it comes to national conversations about college affordability and access and things like that. And so I do want to bring our panel in on this, and we can talk about some of these things. I want to start with Dr. Rogers. I wanted to also kind of start off talking about this thing at Yale University. What do you think about this? Is this a step in the right direction?
I think so. When we talk about equity, we talk about giving everyone an opportunity. You look at around the country, or around the world, rather, how education is free for its citizens. And we have this such high cost for education, and asking what is the return on investment. And when students graduate, what happens after the fact? And you have all of these companies knocking on their doors before they even get a job. And some of these kids are leaving home and being on their own. So now they have bills, rent, mortgage, car notes, all of these things. And then top of that, now you have a school loan to repay. So that's big props to Yale for doing that, because again, they go on with, if you can make the grades and you can stay eligible, then you can stay in the school. So that's an equalizer right there. I think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah, and think about this too. A lot of college graduates, especially going to these Ivy League schools where it's tuition's much more. They're graduating with essentially a house payment, right? That is, so for a lot of students that are fortunate enough to be able to get that opportunity, it's huge, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, it's not as if they're getting anything for free. You're going to Yale University, where the academia is so stiff and so rigorous that they're putting in work. They're putting in that time. And finances should not be a hurdle, an obstacle for them to achieve the so-called American dream.
That
Yeah.
sounded really smart, Kobe.
I see you're going to have one of these shows. Okay.
Well, what do you think, smart guy?
I
right?
agree. I agree. Honestly, the whole time I'm salty because I'm thinking the whole time, and I can't even get my school loan, my teacher forgiveness. There's always a problem with the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get that covered.
Yeah.
And I went to Sac State. I went to Sac. I didn't go to Yale. What was it from Robin? I just saw Goodwill Hunting, right?
Oh, yeah, that was a good, excellent movie.
That was a
Right?
heck of a movie.
Yes.
So
You like apples?
Oh, I love
We
apples.
love-
How about them apples?
Right.
And if you know the movie, if you don't, guys, go look it up. Goodwill Hunting, great movie.
Right.
Great education movie
Yes. So
and mental health.
100%, 100%. It really resonates. Kind of what we do here, right? But I'm all for it. Getting people opportunities. I didn't get it, but people should get it. We got to pay it forward, And man, good stuff. What do you got next for us?
Well, the one thing I was going to say, though, as a follow-up, you said kind of like what we do here. Excuse me, that's exactly what we do here every day, right?
Right. Absolutely.
We're always like Goodwill Hunting on this show.
Absolutely.
I wasn't going to get all braggy, Jeremy. You're getting us all braggy.
Building
now.
relationships, elevating each
to
other.
have people crying in my arms saying, you're from the Jeremy Brooks, the education talk show. Yes, but that's not why. Honestly, I love what we do here.
Yeah.
We're getting it out. We're getting the word out for people. And you know what? This is what it's about. Changing the narrative. Back to this.
Back to this. You said getting it out. I was shocked the other day. I was in the grocery store, and I had my education talk show sweatshirt on. And a lady walks up to me and says, "I know you." She says, "I know you." I said, "Huh?" And I forgot I had the shirt on.
Yeah.
She says, "You're on that show." I said, "What show?" "What show?" She said, "The education talk show. You're Dr. Rogers, right?"
Oh.
I said, "Oh, you watch the show?" She's like, "No, my son does."
Wow.
She's like, "No, my son does." And he showed me who you are.
Oh.
And I was touched. And that was out in not Manteca, but in Stockton.
Wow. Yeah.
It was in Stockton.
You know what? I was actually in Stockton too. We were at this restaurant, and it was a beautiful restaurant along the river. We got to talk actually because I know you're still new to the area.
I am.
So we are always trying to share cool places with Dr. Rogers. But we're having dinner, and somebody came up to us too, and they were just so excited to meet us. And they'd looked up the show, and they were learning about it, and kind of a similar thing. And it was a lot of fun to talk to them, and they talked to us and said that they were educators and teachers. And I'm not used to that yet, but sometimes it happens where people do approach you, and they're, and I'm still learning to accept it. Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little taken back. So if you see me out there and you come up to me, please, say hi. We'd love to say hi to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. The love is mutual. Thank you.
It really is. It really is. We appreciate it. Now, we have Dr. Rob, of course. He's watching the show.
Hey, Dr. Rob.
Hey, he's one of our number one most loyal people. He's one of our regular guests on the show.
Well, he's resilient. That's the thing. He's resilient.
He's known as the resiliency guy.
Yeah.
But amazing thing about him is he never misses a show. I don't think he's missed any shows. And we have a huge community online, and they're in the chat, comments. We have like 7 or 8 pages of comments, which is really, really cool. But, sometimes if he's not right in there at that, time, the exact time we start, the online community, they're like, "Where's Dr. Rob?" Anyway, we love Dr. Rob, and he mentioned something that I think is really important too. So please, again, if you're at home, add to the conversation. We'll share your comments over the air. He mentioned the emergency closures, like declaration, I think, is what it is. And in California, they have that. And here's the thing too. Sometimes if schools do close down and they have to add days to the calendar, they can sometimes get a little bit of a waiver too. Like, I don't know if that's something that in the state of New Jersey that they might try to pursue, or that's an opportunity, but we want kids to, to get those instructional minutes. They're critical, and every minute in the classroom is valuable, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, we want to make sure they get that time, but sometimes, if we're extending out too far into the summer and things like that, may need to make some adjustments. So keep the comments rolling. I also wanted to ask you guys though, too, when you see schools flipping between closures and virtual learning again, I mean, what is that like? What does that say about, sometimes how fragile we might be? I mean, I know it's because of the weather and things like that, but I mean, aren't schools the safest place for students to be sometimes? Sometimes we see this with fires too. We have wildfires. We've had those. And when that happens, some schools are open, some schools are closed.
Right.
I think a lot of it has to do with the ventilation system, of course. But
when we look at the times are changing. The weather's always been, you're going to have winter, and in certain cities, states, you're going to have the fire season, like in Southern California. And it's nice to be able to adapt, where you can have the option to do things. So I think that just over time, we've learned to make those adaptations so you can have learning continue versus shutting down. I remember growing up in Brooklyn, New York, and when it snowed really bad and the buses were on strike, didn't go to school.
Yeah.
And there was no online learning. It was watching cartoons all day.
It wasn't go get your packet.
No, it wasn't go get your packet,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not even sure how we made those days up, if we even made those days up, to be honest, because it happened such a long time ago. But I just know that it's always going to be winter, and it's always going to be, a disaster or something that happens. And to be able to have a contingency plan where we can adapt and where we can try new things, it's the evolution of education. And like I mentioned last week, in 5 years, I believe education is going to change the way we know it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm thinking we'll have a future show on that, a future, topic, because there's some things too that I want to discuss about AI, and some folks have shared things with me too. So that'll maybe be a future topic. So stay tuned, by the way. But I wanted to also ask you too, because I mean he's from the East Coast. Do you remember some of those nasty storms? I mean, you said you've had closures, but
absolutely.
Like, what's happening right now on the East Coast? I imagine you're probably following the headlines too.
Right.
I mean, have you experienced that, or is this like maybe a little different?
No, I think it's very similar. I remember one year we opened the door to the front door to go outside, and it was just 5 feet of snow where we had to shovel our way out to get out. So we went around the back door where it wasn't so deep, and we came around the front to shovel it out. You're young. Your parents like, get out there and go shovel that snow, and it was just the thing you had to do. And then I'm not sure if you understand how Brooklyn works or how New York works. You have to change the side of the street that you park on because of the street sweeper comes every other day. Mm-hmm. So on Mondays, you parked on one side, you got to change over to the next day. And when it snows, it doesn't matter. The snowplow comes, you dig your car out, the snowplow comes and shovels the snow back on to your car. Mm. So it's just all of these little things, nuances that make living hard in those type of environments. I'll be in Chicago next week for the NABE conference, which is the National Bilingual Education Conference. And it's 2 degrees out there.
Wow.
2.
Well,
2 degrees.
Well, and we actually had, shout out to Dr. Donya Ball. She was amazing last week.
Yes.
She was just in Chicago, and she said she'd rather be in Manteca any day, especially when it's cold, like compared to Chicago,
right?
Because she was just there. But, the thing is I heard, and I think she mentioned this, it doesn't matter how warm you dress and that weather. It just doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I did prepare though. I did prepare. I went on to a website. I'm not gonna say which one because they take 40%. And,
nice cut.
And I bought a jacket that is battery operated where it heats up, and it has the heat packs in the front, the back, and the neck, and the arms. So I think I'm gonna be okay. And I have some extra, thick thermals, for my under, and I think I'm gonna be okay.
You know who needs that? Ed.
Oh, God.
Ed could use that. Ed could. Yeah. He gets cold. He's a cold lion. He's got a lot of fur, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but his mane's a little cheap,
a little mangy.
Yeah.
We'll get a makeover for him.
Yeah. Well,
give him a little uniform. We need a costume. He's naked in front of us. It's kind of embarrassing, right? I'm just saying.
Oh man. Well,
I can't say a lion's naked in front of us in a natural habitat. I mean, that's not against anything. I taught science. That's animal kingdom.
Oh man. Well,
go to Tony.
Tony, you're next. Yeah. What do we got for you here? When schools add extra days because of closures, what does it basically feel like, maybe as a teacher, or maybe as a student, like what does that feel like, when you told, hey, you're going to have extra days now?
Well, like, which Kofi didn't say, but I was thinking it. Yeah, he was sleeping in. I'd be sleeping in on those days.
Uh-huh.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's what kids are going to do. That's why they can't, the movie Snow Day, it is tough. Here's what I like, though, as far as a silver lining to the situation, and you mentioned it already, is COVID really prepared us for this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And having now the technology, and I feel like it was already there. We just, as a society, we're naturally, as humans, we like what we're comfortable to, right? And so we had to adapt. So we did adapt. And now with AI and all this stuff coming out, I just see where the shape of education is going to change. We're going to be more hybrid, more online, but also, I think about safety too now with especially in California, schools or anything, if you have a stadium of people, the more unsafe just by sheer numbers, right? That's just math. What if we can get to that hybrid model where we can lessen the numbers, so that kids are getting the hybrid model, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if population's going the way it's going, why wouldn't it? Now, I know we have a recent little dip, but, let's face it, it's not getting smaller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good points. It's such an interesting topic, and I feel like we could probably talk about this all day. We need to add it back to the agenda. So we'll definitely talk about AI, the future of education, because there's a lot of, it's just, there's so many changes so fast. Things are moving so rapidly that, we definitely need to talk about A1 on the show again.
Absolutely. Medium
rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah. A1 education.
A1 education.
It's an inside joke if you've been following us. It's right back there, right? Tony?
Where's A1?
Tony G, we got the
There we go.
right A1
here.
education right there.
On camera. A1 education. Let's put it out here. Let's get it out now.
Nice. All right, so we need to get serious again here.
Okay.
We're like way off the rails here. But Dr. Robert also mentioned this, even in LA, right? He was a student in LA. You'd go back or you'd go to school no matter what, whether there was like high pollution days, the smog in LA. Remember those days? Like it used to be bad. Did you, because you were in LA too, though.
Right. I was in Inland Empire, Rancho Cucamonga everywhere. The smog was a lot worse there than it was in LA, because it was trapped in that, between the mountains.
Like a bowl, right?
Right, in the mountains. So there was certain days that they canceled school because it was just too smoggy. They would have haze days, so the indicator would tell you that it was just unsafe to be outside. So the kids wouldn't have to go to school on certain days. Doing
sports and things like that.
Right.
But again, having the technology nowadays, maybe you just go online those days.
Right. But then you have sports, like you mentioned, and those sports were canceled because it was just unsafe for kids to be outside.
Right, right. And if you've experienced those kinds of things too, let us know. Drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. But we do need to transition and move on. And, again, those are some of our headlines. And let us know if you like that, by the way. If you like the weekly news, we'll try to continue to cover that and make that a part of the show. And so, we're going to move on because our big feature segment here, and I want to try to get in plenty of time talking about this, is teacher housing. Is this innovation or is it a red flag? So let's go ahead and dig into our feature segment tonight. Again, here's the big thing. This isn't just a policy debate. It's one of those moments where the education world is changing so fast that you almost have to kind of stop and ask yourself, wait, how did we, get here? And again, that's our feature segment is teacher housing. And it comes out of a headline with San Diego Unified School District in Southern California. They just voted unanimously to convert their district headquarters. They have a headquarters or a district office somewhere. It's a 13-acre site, and they're going to turn it into an 11-story development with 1,500 housing units, specifically aimed at making rent affordable for teachers and school staff. This is now being described as the largest educator workforce housing initiative in California history. This could be one of the first of its kind across the nation, so this is really kind of an innovative idea. Other school boards across the country, they're kind of watching this closely too. And so, the thing is a public school district is no longer just building schools. They're building housing now, potentially. They're building apartments. And so I guess the core question here is, when I first read the story, my reaction, I was excited, and then I was a little bit mixed about it too. And I thought, wow, that's creative. It's bold, trying to do something to fix the housing shortage and then helping educators. But then I thought, hold on, should we also maybe be appalled by this? Because, what does it say about education in America in 2026 that, we trust people to teach our children, educators, and yet they can't afford to live in the communities they're serving in. And so it also kind of makes you wonder, about wages. Should we pay our educators enough to live in the cities where they're educating our students? So tonight we want to wrestle with this. Is teacher housing a solution? Please let us know what you think. Is this a solution or is this not a good idea? Should we just pay educators more so that they don't have to be stuck in public housing? And so, or is this a symptom of something broken? Should districts be providing housing or should we simply pay teachers enough so they don't need public housing? And so we'll start with Dr. Rogers. When you hear about this, what they're doing in San Diego, building the 1,500 units, I mean, we know San Diego's expensive.
Right.
I've talked to people. I'm doing my research for my dissertation. One of the people I spoke with happened to live in San Diego, right, and wants to go back there, but the cost of living is so high he can't afford it. Right. So this is something that's definitely a very real thing that's hitting a lot of our educators. But what's your first reaction? Is it finally someone's doing something about this, or should this be necessary in a functioning system?
I think, well, you hit the nail on the head. It's a mixed bag because when you look at the education system as it stands, we have to really tear it apart if we're going to start, inserting initiatives like this. When you have teachers who are coming from other states where it's a lot more affordable, for example, let's say you're in Iowa, Kentucky, Atlanta or something like that, and then you come here and as a beginning teacher salary, and let's say you have a family, and you go from a place where housing is half the cost of what is in California. It's hard to live on that, but you want them to come into work and be a good educator in front of these babies where they're struggling with their bills. Where's the humanity in that? Where's the equity in that? So that on that part. But then you have a lot of teaching structures, where, you put something like that out there, and do you have teachers who still have the desire to teach and to want to be there? I think it needs to be an incentive plan or a level system of some sort. But I don't think that the education system as it stands as is would be something that you could just fix. You would have to look at, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, the way the unions work and the way, you get tenured, for example, and all of those things. Because imagine getting free housing and you can mess up and do whatever it is you want to do, and you're still a bad teacher and you're still staying there. So I think there needs to just be some adjustments made so there can be some fairness across the board. Because at the end of the day, we want our kids to have the best quality education. Remember we talked last week about, we have so many different options now, and this is just going to be another option.
Yeah.
But if you look at the justice system, for example, when you go to the prison system, a lot of the prison systems have housing on their grounds. So if they work in doubles or something like that, they have housing facilities not too far or adjacent to those facilities where they can stay. So I think it's no different than that. It just gives people an opportunity to live somewhere and not have to commute far to work and all of those things.
Well, my next follow-up now is going to be this, because we know he worked, right?
Right.
So I want to know, did you live at the prison when you worked there?
Well, no, the water was terrible. So I did not. But I'll tell you what, housing is crazy. I currently got a good deal. I rent. And, but man, the whole, I mentioned earlier about school loans, right? And I think back like, dude, you got to applaud whoever came up with this idea, because that is how you attract and you can build something for your district.
Yeah.
Because teachers again are they are incentivized and they're looking, and and again you have needs and everyone's got different financial obligations and stuff. So it is pretty cool to see that they're doing something cool like that. I would love to go. I mean, heck, I might look into it. Fish tacos. You got the Mission District, right?
Gas lamp.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would love it. I've been out there. I went to San Diego State for one semester. Let's just say it didn't go too well. All right, but I finished, and so San Diego's awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, and I imagine that it's not just going to be for teachers. I imagine it'll be for secretaries, clerical staff,
Right. Just educators.
just educators,
Right.
anybody, and but also kind of I think it makes you wonder. And by the way, Dr. Danya Ball, amazing. She was one of our guests last week, and we appreciate her. She's in the comments, and it sounds
Dr.
like
Ball.
she's supportive of the idea, as well as Dr. Rogers too. But I got to play devil's advocate here. I mean, do you really want to be? we love the people we work with,
Right.
but do you really want them to be your neighbor too?
There's something interesting about that.
Uh-huh.
I think that building community is very important. And if we spend time together, truly spending time together and investing in one another, it may bring some of that humanity back.
Yeah.
When I was stationed in Germany, for example, I witnessed something that I've never seen before in my life. On the weekends, the whole community would come out and they would wash the sidewalks. They're washing the walls. They would clean up their neighborhood literally.
Wow.
Washing everything.
Was this on the base, like the soldiers, or this was just
out? This was out in the city, in Landstuhl, in Landstuhl, in Kaiserslautern, in West Germany, and they were just washing.
Do you speak German?
Speaking Dutch, it's English.
Wow, nice.
And it was just incredible. So I feel that if we change the narrative, and provide people with opportunities to come together, so maybe it's too much division.
Yeah.
So I want to look at things through a rose.
Jeremy just wants to blast his Eagles albums.
But maybe I can learn what the Eagles albums are about. Again,
there we go.
We can learn, and I can teach him a little bit about, Wale and stuff like that, and Jill Scott.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. You got to explain that to me, that connection. I'm lost here.
Well, essentially, Jeremy, you're missing out on the brotherhood idea of the teachers coming together.
Absolutely.
And there's community, but I know where you're coming from. Space is nice.
Separation, work, and then do you want to live where you? It's like you want to have a place where you can separate the two. I get it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the Eagles, though. Are you talking about the Eagles band?
I was joking. I could just see you blasting Eagles in the next apartment above me. Like,
okay.
Hey, Brooks, keep it down.
I do that, by the way.
It's 2 a.m., right?
Hey, I am into my Hotel California. I do get down to that.
Right, but think about it. It's not like you have to live there, though, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about
sublease it.
Right. We're talking.
Oh, God.
Look at him.
I'm sorry.
It's
never going to happen.
I'm sorry. That's
so bad.
It was just sitting there.
The hustler in him.
Sublease it.
Talk about
Kidding, San
My
Diego.
goodness.
So
He's already giving bad ideas out there to the public.
You're messing it up for everybody.
He's messing up for everybody.
We're going down in flames.
No, but I think that, it's not designed for everyone. So when you're able to buy your own home, then you just leave the neighborhood, and you go buy your own home where you can buy your home. But as an affordable option, I think it's fantastic to give someone that option. I know I've worked with some educators, as a principal and even as assistant principal, where they would come in and I'm watching them work other jobs just so they can
I've seen it. Yeah.
pay their rent, or they're receiving what they call that, cash aid, or the benefits, whatever. So it's just difficult for me to watch that and not say that our education system is broken.
And you're saying admin? You've seen admin work multiple jobs?
I've seen admin work multiple jobs.
I've seen teachers.
I've seen teachers do it. You know, because again, we're in California. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive to live here. And when you come in at that low beginning salary, how do you navigate that, right? And how do you do that?
I don't know how some people do it. I mean, I've seen folks who have worked 2 full-time jobs for real. They work maybe at night, do the graveyard shift or late shift at a grocery store, and they've done it for 30 plus years. Yet they're also teachers too at the same time.
But watch this.
I see multiple people do that. You did that too?
I did it raising my kids when they were little. I did it.
Wow.
I had to work multiple jobs and while I was going to school. So, it's not like I did it, because it was just hard.
This is really, though, a real estate value problem. The real estate price in California especially is so high that these jobs should pay us well to where we could live well, right? But when you're paying high premiums in mortgages and rents, and it just gets huge, and then you're like sitting there as a teacher, I should be living a little bit better, but you can't. So here's where the property thing comes in, and you're like, hey, I don't got to think about buying. I'll just go cheap property, and it's nice. I'm sure they're going to keep it well kept.
Yeah. Maybe a pool,
jacuzzi, sauna.
I don't want to see my colleagues in the pool.
Oh no, I'm having a barbecue Mr. G's beach barbecue in the back, man. admin can't come.
We're
Jokes, guys, jokes.
oh
Tony,
my goodness.
you admins can come.
Well, and that's another problem. I mean, say your boss is like your next door neighbor, right? And your boss does catch you doing the subleasing deal. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I'm borrowing my buddy's stethoscope. I'm listening in the wall. I want to know what's going
you
on.
just do it too much.
See,
over
this
there.
is, by the way, I want to blame Ed for this. The show
Ed
going down
started
there,
the
right?
whole thing. He
started
brought
the
in
whole
his
thing.
funny juice. He just
The show is not typically like this.
No,
Today's different.
hey, we're having fun. We're having
Today's
fun.
different.
And I promise, we're just joking. There's energy
Always
drinks
jokes.
or coffee.
Water.
This is
or
Starbucks.
water.
This is the
This is
energy
water.
drink. Yeah, this is an energy. This is not ginseng without this.
Well, I said that because we used to work out, right? Get pumped up back in the 90s until they said it's bad for your heart. So just kidding. Again, we have fun out here.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, what's the next topic?
Yeah, we got to move on.
We're
Huh?
going.
Well, it is this. This is the topic. But I also wanted to ask, do you see this as innovation? I mean, it might be, and I mean, we look at the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
There's an affordable housing crisis there. We look at San Francisco, and some of the other states too. The East Coast. I mean, you lived on the East Coast. What is it like to live there? Is it affordable? Say you wanted to live in Manhattan,
Right.
and be a teacher. How do they do that?
Well, you have transportation systems which are different there, So trains and you have bus routes that run a lot more frequently than they do out here. But you mentioned San Francisco, and what came to mind is, do you really want to be, in an hour and a half, 2 hour commute, or have to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning just so you can make it to work at 8 because you have to get in that traffic? So if you have housing that's already there, and look at the quality of life.
Yeah, and that's a unique situation.
If you're
right
in
there.
traffic for 2 hours going each way, that's 4 hours a day that you're giving up of your life.
Well, you did that one night
I
to
did.
make it here for the show.
I
So you
did.
got to really
And I
experience
was
that.
worn out. And I was worn out. So I can't imagine how, someone would do that. And then, you sustain yourself. When I was a principal, actually, I lived in Vallejo, and I was driving to Carmichael. And that's about an hour and a half commute. And it was just, I thought to myself, that's 3 hours of my day that was just gone in traffic.
So you were in Vallejo Bay Area,
Yes.
sort of, and you're Carmichael. Are you talking Sacramento area?
Right, yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
that
a
was-
long commute.
Right, and so when I was a principal, that's where I worked there. And so it was just very difficult sometimes. And I remember, this is a little bit, too much sharing, whatever. I remember one time I pulled over and took a nap because I was exhausted. It was a long day. I had worked 13 hours that day, and driving back, I thought I could do it. I had to pull over, take a nap. So I can only imagine having to do that every day, how the wear and tear of your body. And we talked about the quality of life.
Yeah.
And how can you really be there for your students and for your staff if you're just exhausted?
That's true.
So I think, we really need to just look at that as a positive
Yeah.
and saying, well, if you want to work in the Bay Area and there's housing there, that's 4 or 5 hours and that you can get back for sleep.
Yeah. And imagine, honestly, because, I mean, there are educators. They got to be doing that, right? And so, I mean, that can give them time to maybe coach, to do extra things on campus,
Have to spend time with their families.
spend time with their families,
And
have
you-
better work-life
You could
balance.
start renovating buildings in San Francisco that are, because again, they're not all completely packed. There's economy things going on here. You start doing that, renovating buildings. You've got now construction, right? You've got people in San Francisco getting jobs. Now you got money going to the economy. Then that property, by the way, is only going to go. I mean, obviously it could have dips, but it's going to go up, right? The government, whoever owns that, right? It's their property, so it's not going nowhere. So you're not at a loss, and then you're getting money from the tenants.
A domino effect, right? Or trickle down.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's totally true. And it also kind of has me thinking about, there are some parts of California where it still is a little bit unaffordable. Housing might be expensive and out of reach, but there's a lot of areas where they cannot fill jobs for bus drivers, for, teachers, school
Speech and
psychologists.
language, right?
Yeah.
All of those positions.
But
It's just difficult.
yeah, but here's the deal. there are people out there that want those jobs. But again, if you're
The
looking
cost
at
analysis.
if you're looking at the cost of it, say you live in another state and you would like to relocate, like you said, you got to start off at the bottom of the salary schedule. You might be really thinking, gosh, I may want to live in California. I may want that job, but if I'm going to have to start there and the cost of housing is X, may not be able to do that. So, I mean, this can possibly be a solution to help with those kinds of situations too, this housing, right?
Right. Because I went to a restaurant in San Francisco a few weeks back, and there was like no parking anywhere, right? And I was thinking to myself, how does someone live out here on a regular basis? And if you're an educator,
They walk. They walk.
Right. And so if you're an educator and you want to have, and again, I'm talking bottom tier beginning educators, how do you make it out there, with that when everything is just so crowded? Housing is expensive. Like you mentioned earlier, chances are you can't afford to live where you teach, so you're living somewhere across the bridge. And just all of these inconveniences that make life hard.
Yeah.
And you want to show up for your kids. Like, I don't understand that. I think we need to really we need to look at how we treat our educators and what we do with our educators, because we want our educators to show up, as their best self.
Yeah.
But society keeps doing things against us as educators to make it hard for us to live and hard for us to show up for
I
our
think
kids.
it's a win-win. It's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
I think
Where's
so.
the lose?
We got a lot of comments, by the way, at home. Thank you for your comments tonight. We really appreciate it. And sorry we didn't get to more. We go back and read them, by the way. So even if we don't get to it, it really does mean the world to us. And we definitely go back and we interact and we see the comments and we share them. So thank you guys for that tonight. Last thing I want to mention too, you talked about housing or transportation, right? You talked about walking and transportation. We were in Manhattan just like literally, a couple months back, few months back. And, we were over by the park where you have, you take off to go. No, not Central Park. It was the park where you take off to go to the Statue of Liberty and all those things. Ellis Island. And it was Lower Manhattan. And you had, what I loved about it was we were there in the morning time and you had all those ferries going across there.
Right.
And it was Battery Park and you could see all the commuters. And I thought to myself, gosh, okay, so they're, likely New Jersey, wherever they might be, going across the river, maybe even Brooklyn, okay? And, they're taking the ferry, then how do they get to work? I mean, they're jumping on the subway or taking a cab or walking. And it's an interesting system. And there's just boat after boat after boat of people. And it's just, what an interesting thing. But a lot of commuting, I mean, I imagine they're probably in line for quite a while to get to take that ferry across.
Right, but it's not a long line because, like I mentioned earlier, transportation systems in New York are so different than in California. It was a culture shock for me because when my kids were little, I wanted to take the bus with them to show them, and I was frustrated. I was like, "No, we're not taking the bus. I would rather drive you than have you out here waiting for an hour for a bus to come and then transfer."
In California?
In California, yes.
Wow.
So it was just a culture shock.
Because you had to wait so long at the bus stop there.
But in New York, you don't have to do that. They have so many different options, and they come constantly, and you see, just how easy and smooth it is to transition from bus to train or train to ferry or whatever, because they have that already mapped out, and they've been doing it for years, versus in California, it's relatively, unless you're in LA or another major city, it's relatively new, out here.
Yeah, excellent. Real quick, last question, and then we got to move on to final word. I really wanted to get all this in, but that's all right. So last thing I'll throw out here is should the solution though actually be, we look at salaries versus housing. Should it be raising salaries to match the cost of living? I mean, should it be that? So teachers can choose where to live in the profession, like any other professional, or provide housing directly. I mean, the market, it's gotten very expensive. We know that salary increases, are they ever going to really catch up, especially in these major cities? And as I mentioned, I interviewed somebody for my dissertation, and I mean, they talked to me about what the cost of living was like in San Diego when they were there as a college student, how they wanted to come back, and how they've looked at the cost of that same apartment that they lived in just, a few years back, and it's doubled or tripled the price, and they're like, there's no way I will ever be able to go back, but I would love to. But, should we maybe consider raising salaries if we can?
I look at who's that going to affect. If we're giving staff more money, then are we taking from students? As you already know, 80%, if not more, of cost that we have with education go towards salaries. Yep. So if we take more money and put in the salaries, are we taking from our students? So those are things that I often think about and look at how can we help and aid educators without hurting our students. Because, our students are suffering enough as it is, and taking more from them and giving them less quality of an education is not a solution, because the schools with more money, they're not losing out. It's the schools with less money that are hurting those babies a lot more. So I think about that more than anything else.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point too. And I mean, and then I'll go over here, like in Alaska, right? We talked about Anchorage, Alaska. They're doing that, tax increase. Maybe money could come from there. I mean, if that is a possibility, Tony G, what do we think? Is that better to maybe do the raise?
Well,
if we can provide both, then maybe smaller class sizes.
I'm not going to say no to more money. I mean, it's human nature, right? But obviously, cost of living is important. And again, there's the majority of teachers don't want to live in resident, whatever kind of housing setup. They want their dream house they have, which that's expensive. So they, make ends meet, whatever you want to call it. But eventually, prices do go up, and then inflation does go up. Your cost of everything. I'm not proud of this. But back in my day where I was stress eating, I had to go to my spot as a breakfast burrito here in Manteca, La Estrella, and it was like the best because number one, I love breakfast burrito, and two, it's cheaper.
Okay.
So it was like $9 or $8 or something, right? And next thing you know, I think it was like 15. I don't even know. 16. It was
for a breakfast burrito.
Again, as product, you're paying for the tortilla, you're paying for the beans, you're paying for the name.
Yeah.
The name alone. No, but the whole point is that's just one little item.
Yeah.
Right. Now imagine going to the grocery store. You've got kids. You're buying all this stuff. It's coming up now where it was hundreds. It might hit 1,000. I don't know how many kids people have, but as a teacher, some of them have a lot of kids.
Yeah. Such good points, gentlemen. Final word. We're almost over here again. We're so bad.
Hey.
We blame Ed, right?
Hey,
Ed did the whole thing, man.
I'm not taking the fall for this one.
Yeah. All right. So final word. Who wants to go first?
Tony, it's yours.
I'll take the final word first. Guys, get out and get active. Do stuff. I know it's cold, but get your steps in, teachers. You're stressed. You're frustrated because it's like, I get it. It's hard. January's tough. February's tough. March gets better. April a little bit better. May, you're smiling, right? Or May. But remember, all through that, just get your steps in. I'm out.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, my final word is, being grateful. There's often times where life comes at you fast and hard, but just standing still for a moment and being grateful. Just having a grateful mindset and appreciating the small things in life that gets you through, and I just want to say thank you to you fellas again for providing space and opportunity to just reflect and just have a place where things are normal and it's peaceful for my day. So I say thank you so much. Next week I won't be here. Remember, I'll be in cold Chicago.
That's right.
2 degrees. So please think about me.
Hey, but you're going to have to post updates, right, for those that follow us. So
absolutely.
If they wanted to follow you, how could they do that?
Absolutely.
You can get a slice of stuffed crust pizza?
I'll bring you back. Yeah, okay. A frozen pizza.
Chicago
for
pizza.
yourself. You enjoy it.
I'm not eating that.
Okay.
I'm not eating that. I'm trying to lose stuff.
That's true. I'm sorry. I'm a foodie when it comes to travel.
I'm trying to lose stuff. You can go to my TikTok, IMDRDR1 for my TikTok. You can go to my Instagram with Dr._Dwight_Rogers and catch me on Instagram. Love to have you follow me. Go ahead and click the button, and I'll follow you back because, again, we're a family, we're a community. See you there.
That's right. And then the book.
And the book, you can get this from Zulon Press because they're my publishing company. Amazon, you can go there too, but remember, they charge 40%.
By the way, am I seeing a cool shirt here?
Absolutely. And so coming out, so Jeremy told me about merch. So this is a sweatshirt. It says change the narrative, and this is my logo on it. And this cool little Nike sweat jacket. And this summer, we're going to have a lot more apparel and a lot more merch coming out. So stay tuned for that.
I want to know where we can find that. I would wear that.
But right now, this is a test testing. So if you want some, please hit me up. Let me know so I know I can put some orders in, and I'll get it to you as soon as possible.
You got me extra large. Put me down already.
No, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna take care of both of you.
Okay, all right.
Take one for Ed.
We need one for Ed.
I'm gonna take care of the whole crew.
So he's not coming in naked all the time. You know what I mean?
All right, Tony G, we got to wrap it up real quick. How do they follow you too?
Follow me at TonyG.comedy, guys. I'll be doing stuff all the time. 2026, a big year. I'm launching a lot of stuff. So again, the more the merrier. And yeah, that's it. That's what I got, Jeremy.
All right, excellent. Well, hey, listen, tonight, our show, it reminds us that education is always shaped by forces that aren't always in the classroom, right? There's a lot of stuff happening across the country that we covered tonight. We even covered affordable housing for educators and a community in Anchorage, Alaska. We talked about that and whether class sizes should go down or stay, where they're at. And we talked about tuition at Yale University. But there's a lot of things we discussed, and education, it's never just policy. It's families, it's people, it's teachers showing up, as we mentioned before. And so, hey, we want to thank you for watching the show. Thank you for all the comments tonight. We love you. And we also want to thank our crew in the back. RG, of course, Dr. Rob, Dr. Danya Ball, thank you for commenting as well tonight. And also, hey, just a quick shout out. We've got one of our amazing team members, Luke, in the studio tonight. So thank you, Luke, for being here.
Luke.
We appreciate you.
I'm your father.
Have a good night, folks.
Have a good night.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.